Hey everyone, it's Agnach here. Welcome to another video. On today's video, I'm bringing another easy to use and effective army for your Legends League hits or also your war hits during the CWL this month. This army uses Golems, which is good for those of you that can't get super giants. We bring 3 Golems and we bring 2 Ice Golems. And then for the spammy part of this attack, we have 8 Super Wizards and 8 Witches. Spells is 2 Rages, 2 Freezes, a Poison, and 4 Earthquakes. For the CC, I bring a couple of Yetis, a Vulcan, a Bob, and also bring the Log Launcher for this, which is great when you quake the Town Hall, as you can bring the Town Hall down just with the 4 quakes and the Log Launcher by itself. So let's go to the first attack. So this is the first attack. Now I'm going to be showing you these attacks on ring basis and also on teaser basis. This attack is actually a lot better on ring basis than teaser basis, but it works on both. So basically you just want to quake their Town Hall to damage it a little bit. Put the Golem, Ice Golem on either side with a Witch and a Super Wizard just to create a bit of a funnel. Then you put the Golem with Witches for tanking. Then you send your Log Launcher and put your heroes down. You can put the first Rage nice and early just to push everyone around. Now, as I've said in previous videos, whenever you're using the Log Launcher and a spammy attack, the spam attack doesn't follow the Log Launcher path. So if you want them to your whole army to go into the center of the base, most of the time they won't. They will be going around the ring, which is usually what you want to have when you're going against a ring base. Like in this case, I got some of my army went to the left, some of my army went to the right. Some of my army, like the Golems and the Ice Golems, decided to stay behind, but that's alright. Now they're going to be able to tank the Scatter and the Moldy Inferno while the rest of my army is going around the ring. And as you saw, the Town Hall went down just from the 4 quakes and the Log Launcher hitting it, which is really good. You also saw that I used the Warden ability nice and early, and that's mainly just to make sure that my Log Launcher stays alive for as long as possible and throws as many logs as it can throw. The Log Launcher, unlike the other siege machines, it dies by itself, or actually the siege barracks and the Log Launcher, they both die by themselves. But if you use the Warden ability, if it's been targeted by something, it will last for a little bit longer, and as long as it throws all of the logs that it can throw, it will get the Town Hall down. Now this is another ring base, so we quake again the center with the Town Hall, and I also damaged the Scatter and the Eagle, which is pretty good value. The same thing, put the Golem, then the Ice Golem, Wizard, Witch on both flanks just to create a bit of a funnel. The next Golem in the center with a Log Launcher, the Witches and the Wizards from behind. And then you send your King, Queen and Warden. Usually you don't want to send the King, Queen and Warden before the Log Launcher, as they might start walking around and not go in where you want them to go. I use the freeze here for the single Inferno just to make sure that my King doesn't die. The Log Launcher is being targeted, so now it's gonna go down, and as you can see, it didn't throw as many logs as I could, so that Town Hall was maybe 1 HP to go down, so a Yeti Might just brings it down. And now we've got some of the army on the left hand side, some of the army on the right hand side, and as I said, on the ring base, this is perfect. This is what you want them to go around, as long as that Town Hall goes down, which usually is in the center on the ring base, obviously. But that's why the Log Launcher and the quakes just get rid of it nice and quick. I'm also going to be bringing some of these bases and just show you how you can attack those. But for ring bases, I do believe this attack is quite strong. And it's very easy to use. As I said before, you just put a couple of Golems on either side with a couple of troops just to funnel, and then just send everything in the center of the base going in towards the Town Hall with a Log Launcher and everything else around the ring. Now this one became pretty close. That Ice Golem that was doing nothing for the entire raid somehow ends up being the MVP of this raid, as the Scatter Shot is now hitting my minion and it's going to be turning towards my Super Wizard, but the Super Wizard ends up killing it. The Ice Golem goes down, and then the Witch and the Super Wizard can kill that expo and got my triple. So now this is one of the tease bases. So usually for these ones, like for the quakes, you usually want to hit the town hall. However, I've noticed that if the town hall is really on the other side, like outside of the base, I prefer not hitting it and just hitting the walls that are gonna help me get to the town hall. So that's why I quake there, and then I do the same thing, golem on one side with the ice golem and wizard and witch, golem on the other side with the wizard and witch, and then just start going inside. Now another thing that I use on these type of bases, wherever I want my main army to go, I put the RC on the other flank just to get rid of some of the defenses, just to make sure to push the rest of my army in to where I want them to go. As you can see, I want them to stay on the right hand side, so that's why I have my RC on the left hand side. She can also get quickly to the eagle, get rid of all those defenses, and that way most of my army will be in the center of the base going towards the town hall. Now that most of the defenses are gone, I still have the king, I've got the queen with ability, I've got a freeze, so I decided to use the freeze for the enemy heroes and the town hall. The ice golem is there from the CC, which is not the best for me, but the king ends up getting rid of the town hall anyway, so now there's only a couple of Teslas, so it really doesn't matter. I use my queen ability just to get rid of the pups, and this was a nice triple as well. So as you can see on this occasion, I didn't use the quakes on the town hall. I also didn't use the quakes on the town hall on the previous attack, because I knew that the logs from the log launcher were never going to be hitting the town hall, so it kind of it stops the purpose of the log launcher with the quakes. So that's why I decided to use it for pathing. On this occasion, the town hall is on the other side, but it's not on the outside. So I did hit the town hall, and it also allowed me to open the entire center of the base over there, so that's why I used that. And as you can see, I put the log launcher with most of my army on the right hand side. So what do? I'm gonna be sending the royal champion for that multi-inferno just to clear that 6 o'clock compartment. And that's gonna be allowing my troops to keep going into the center of the base. Now I use the freeze for the scatter shot and the cannon just to make sure to give my troops a bit of time just to get rid of that. Now a lot of them have gone onto the left hand side, which is not something that I wanted. I wanted them to stay on the right hand side. The log launcher has also gone down, so now it's all up to my queen, which seems to be the only one that has stayed in the center, and also the 2 witches. So I use the freeze for the 2 expos and the wizard tower. Now this can also be a risky attack if you do this. If you want to go for a safe 2-star, then I recommend just quaking the town hall from like 12 o'clock and sending your log launcher there. That way the log launcher is going to get rid of the town hall easy, and all of your troops are going to be going in there, and probably you're still going to get the 3-star, but you're definitely going to get a high 2-star. But I just like coming from the opposite side. It gives me a little bit more value. Now this very famous base as well, I quake the town hall, get the scatter, the expo, the AD. Obviously we can see that there's a scatter, there's the eagle, so that's the side that I want to come in just to get rid of those defenses as soon as I can. The same thing as I've done before, the golem with the ice golem with the wizard and the witch on the sides, and then the rest of the army in the center. As I said, first you put the golem for tanking, then you put the witches. I like putting the witches because then they spawn the skellies, and the skellies start tanking as well. And then I put the log launcher. So I'm hoping that with the golem and the skellies, the log launcher is not going to get targeted. However, in this game, the one thing that you don't want to get targeted always gets targeted, so then you put your heroes there and you have to use the wounding ability nationally just to make sure that the log launcher doesn't die. On this occasion, the log launcher does get rid of the tank hole, and again, as I said before, everything splits onto the sides, but on the ring base, that's what you want. So I've got an army of witches with super witches on the left hand side. I've got the king, queen, warden and RC with a few super wizards on the right hand side, and they're all gonna be merging in and meeting up at 9 o'clock. So the RC ends up getting rid of the scatter, the wizard tower. She's gonna be going down to the single inferno. The warden is also gonna go down to the single inferno. The Yeti as well, but now we have the king and the queen. The queen still has her ability, so she's gonna be able to get rid of the single inferno. We only have that expo left. The queen can reach it, and this is a nice triple, and it's an easy triple as well. Now we've got this one, which is also a bit of a famousy base at the moment, all these compartments, and it's a good thing when they have open walls and you're coming in with witches. So I used the quake just to open those 4 compartments towards the south, and then I sent the same thing, my funneling troops on the side, and then the golem with the log launcher in the center with the rest of my troops. Super minions come out of the CC, so I poison them just to make sure to slow them down and kill them. I use my royal champion at 12 just to train the defenses up there, get rid of the eagle nice and early, and make sure that the rest of my army remains in the southern compartments instead of having them walk up. I want them to go down towards the town hall, so basically you use the royal champion just to push the rest of your troops to where you want them to go. And you've got quite a few rages that you can use wherever you want to use them. That's the thing with this army, deploying everything is nice and easy. You deploy them within 5 seconds, but what's important for you to be able to get this army to work is where you put your spells, where you put your royal champion, so where do you freeze, where do you put your rage, when do you use the warning ability. That's the sort of stuff that you need to think with your popping as well. Now we've got the king walking outside. We still have plenty of troops left, and there's only that single compartment. The compartment. The witches end up killing the queen, and this was another triple. Well, what do you think of this army? It's nice and easy to use. As I said, it's all dependent on how you use your spells. Deploying the troops is nice and easy. Using the quakes nice and easy. Against ringed bases, you can smash them. Again, it's 3 golems, 2 ice golems, 8 super wizards, and 8 witches, so you don't need a second super troop. And very strong. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time with more Clash. See ya.